It is time for the new heroes banner, and I'm really interested to see who we're going to get. It is possible that we get like Thrasha or like maybe even an actual heroes banner. That would be kind of insane with Alphonse. But for sure, I think we're getting Rearmed Plumeria at the very least. So let's go ahead and jump in, see what we're dealing with. Starting off with an Ascended hero. Okay, it looks like it is going to be Thrasha. It's Said. We're getting Ascended Said. That's kind of crazy. I'm sure a lot of people are happy about that. He looks really cool too. This is kind of like Saint Seiya, the armor. So, oh my god, we have Infantry Pulse 4. Infantry Pulse, the YouTuber, must be freaking out. But we'll get back to that. Let's start off with this PRF weapon, Haired Forseti. So we have Slaying, and then at start of turn, he's going to give himself attack and speed +6 to a visible bonus, and also special cooldown -1. And then he'll also get attack and speed +6 during combat. He'll get 30% damage reduction against the foe's first attack, and he gets true damage equal to X% of his speed when his special triggers, X equaling the max special cooldown count times 10 + 20. So very similar to like Brave Erica or like Hatari Carla, right? It's not a bad weapon overall. You're going to get some nice stats there. You get some nice support as well, being able to constantly keep your special lower and lower, which is really nice because it's going to be able to let you use stuff like AoE specials or like Luna or like just the bigger specials overall, and you get that damage reduction and some true damage as well. So overall, pretty solid weapon. Then we have Blazing Wind, attack speed ideal, Special Spiral 4. So we now have Special Spiral 4 officially in the main pool, which is really nice, and it's on a green hero, so it's going to be a little bit easier to pull. But the big thing here, obviously, is going to be Infantry Pulse 4. So let's see how this works. Okay, so the way this works is like it pretty much has a time pulse effect. So at start of turn, if your special cooldown is at max, you'll get -1. But then also, if an infantry ally special cooldown is at its max value, and you have higher max HP than them, they'll also get special cooldown -1. This is really, really good, right? This is essentially like a times pulse improvement. Like they kind of merge times pulse and infantry pulse together. The cool thing is that with infantry pulse, the biggest problem was that it only happened on the start of turn 1. So if you like turned it off with like Element or something else, it was pretty much gone. But now this will be a continual effect that will happen every single turn. So this is really, really strong, and I think this can bring back Infantry Pulse like as an actual meta build. I know people still use it nowadays, like Infantry Pulse the YouTuber, but it has definitely fallen off a bit. It has come back a little bit with Freyr, but with this is like really strong, especially with Freyr, because you can really stop any kind of like interference, and you can have some really high special cooldowns on your units. Now, when it comes to roles, obviously, Said wants to be a nuke. That's the main thing he's going to be doing, but he does offer some support as well, right? He does get to have that infantry pulse support, but that's not really inherent to him. Inherent to him, he is just being a nuke. He wants to go out, do big damage, use big specials, and do a lot of true damage. So a pretty typical mage nuke. Now, when it comes to game modes, I could definitely see him being used in E3's defense with that infantry pulse 4, or he could also be used maybe in summer duels as well. I'm not sure if he's going to be insanely powerful there, but he could definitely work. Okay, let's move on to our next hero. Okay. I don't know who this is. I haven't played Genealogy or Thrasha, so I don't really know a lot of the side characters. Lebail. Okay, so we have Haired Yuzbel. Has Slaying, effective against flying foes. If he initiates combat or within 2 spaces of an ally, he's going to get +5 to all stats. Then he also gets an additional attack and speed +X during combat, where X is 25% of the foe's attack at start of combat, -8. Minimum of 0, max of 10. So this is going to be the visible attack of the foe at the beginning of the turn. That's quite a bit. Getting +10 attack and speed, and then another 5, so it's +15 attack and speed from your weapon is pretty strong. You're also going to neutralize guard, and you're also going to get 30% damage reduction against the foe's first attack, and it heals 7 HP. Now, this weapon's pretty good, right? Like, it's not anything insane, I would say. Like, it's nothing, like, completely broken, but it does have all the things you really want, right? You have a ton of stats. You have damage reduction in the weapon, so that means you can also, like, run something else in the A slot, or you could double down with, like, Remote Sparrow or something like that. You have some healing, which really isn't all that necessary, but it is nice. But most importantly, you have the anti-guard effect. And what that's going to allow you to do is really hit consistent Deadeyes as an infantry unit, right? Which is really nice. But then we have a new A skill, Speed Res Hexblade. So this is exactly the same as attack speed Hexblade, but the difference now is that you're getting speed and resistance instead. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think this is all that great. When you're going for adaptive damage, right, you're typically going for as much damage as possible. You're trying to kill things. You're not really trying to tank. This is more of like a tanking skill, or like a tanking stats on a skill, right? So I'm not the biggest fan of this. I mean, if you just want the Hexblade effect, I guess this is a good way to pick it up. And then we also have Physical Null Follow-Up also in the main pool. We already had it with Ascended Fur, but now we have another option of it, which is really nice because this is a very powerful skill. Now, when it comes to roles, obviously Lebail just wants to be a nuke as well, right? It has everything he wants to do to be as a nuke. Doesn't really have any other roles here, no support or anything else like that. When it comes to game modes, he could probably be used like an Aetherhead's defense or like maybe Summoner Duels as well. But I don't think he's going to be as powerful as some of our other nukes, right? Like Legendary or like even Brave Mary Ann now, who is amazing. So I think he's going to be kind of like a decent character. He's definitely absolutely usable if you want to invest into him if he's like your favorite character. But I don't think he's like insane, super like ultra meta or anything like that. Okay, let's move on to our next hero. I don't know who this is. This is like the most weird banner ever. I don't know any of the characters. Okay, so we have Fee as a sword-flying demote with protection edge, and if she's within 3 spaces of an ally, she's going to attack defense +5 and guard. This is like an okay weapon. It's not like really amazing, and when it comes to fodder, she has essentially nothing. Like, she has aerobatics, I guess, which is okay, and like reposition, which is like good, but we also have like a million different ways to get reposition. Same with dry speed too. I don't know why IS hates giving out fodder. They could put like attack speed solo here or something else that has like some value, right? I don't know. Not a big fan. I don't think Fee's really going to be doing much here as a demote. I'm sure she probably has a good stat line though. So if you're like a big fan, you could go for like an arcane sword, like Arcane Devourer, and she'll probably work pretty well. Okay, let's move on to our final hero, who I think should be Rearmed Plumeria. There she is. It's Rearmed Plumeria, just like we called it. Now let's see what she actually has. I want to see if she has a PRS skill and then what kind of fodder she has. Let's start off at the top. Okay, so we see, we have a new line of defense res ploy. Wings of Mercy 4, I called it. I called it so hard. If you watched the DTM podcast with me and Phoenix Master, Joel and DTM obviously, I said Wings of Mercy 4 is coming on Rearmed Plumeria, and I was right. And this is amazing fodder. This is so good. Let's start at the top with a new Arcane Blue Tome. So we have Arcane Euphoria. This is going to give Slaying. It's going to give +5 to all stats. You get guaranteed follow-up attack, and you also get true damage equal to 15% of your attack during combat, including AoEs, and you get 30% damage reduction against the foe's first attack. Overall, I think this is a decent weapon. I don't think this is one of the better arcane weapons we've gotten. It's definitely not an Arcane Lewin. I think it's pretty similar to like the Arcane Tome we have on Rearmed Ophelia, where it's like solid, it has some default power, but it's not like anything insane. And I think if you're trying to go for like a fast blue mage, this is probably not the tome you're really looking for, right? Maybe there'll be a different one later in the future. This is more for like the slower or more bulkier blue mages, in my opinion, who really need that guaranteed follow-up attack or have like really high attack stats. Now let's go to her preference dance. She has the new dance, which is kind of interesting because Plumeria is getting her refine and remix pretty soon. So it'll be interesting to see like if she gets something similar to this or something completely different. Okay, so we have Cloying Dreams. You're going to get your dance effect. You get +5 to all stats. You get Charge, the visible bonus charge, and foe penalty doubler to target ally for 1 turn. And you inflict -5 to all stats on the nearest foe within 5 spaces of the target ally through their next action. Oh wow, this is a pretty strong dance. I think people like kind of don't fully understand how good foe penalty doubler is, especially in our current meta, right? Our current meta that is dominated by Unity. Being able to take advantage of those debuffs they are putting on themselves is a really big deal. And the other really crazy thing is with this dream, with this dance, is that you can give charge after, right? A lot of times when you're playing in Summoner Duels or like other game modes, the foe is looking at you, especially in Summoner Duels, they're looking at you, right? They're looking at your movement, and they're like, okay, I'm fine here. They can't hit me. But with this, you could move a unit, then dance them, and all of a sudden their range gets extended drastically with that charge. And then all of a sudden they just completely caught them off guard. And not only did you do that, you made the unit stronger and the nearest foe weaker. So I think Cloying Dreams is an excellent dance. Very, very good. Excited to see this used. It's going to be pretty strong in Summoner Duels. Then we have Stillwater 4, which is decent fodder. Wings of Mercy 4, which is insane fodder. This is exactly what the skill you're looking to duplicate. This is like one of the number of things I was talking about when I came to skill duplication. You want Wings of Mercy 4. And now you don't have to kill Hinoka to get it, which is really, really good because Hinoka is stupidly strong and you do not want to be killing her. So being able to get this off a Rearmed hero is really nice. And because Stillwater 3 is on Tea Time Tail 2, you can even get that pretty easily as well when she gets added to the Grail Shop. So already we're seeing that there's 2 amazing fodders on this Rearmed hero, so you don't necessarily have to add all that much to get more value. But we also have a new tier 4 skill in Defense Res Play 3. Holy crap, here it is! Here is the Robin counter. Oh my god, I cannot believe it was added on Rearmed Plumeria. That is actually insane to me. So we have Defense Res Play 3, and what this does is at the start of player and enemy phase, so on both phases at start of turn, this is going to activate. And if any foe within 3 rows or 3 columns has less resistance than Plumeria, +5. So you have to have 5 more resistance than them. She's going to inflict defense and res -7, a new stats effect called Ploy on them, and exposure. So exposure is that effect we have from Duo Thor, right, where it gives a +10 true damage per hit. It's very, very strong. Defense and res -7 is already a nice debuff there, but then we have Ploy. And what Ploy does is it actually neutralizes the bonus doubler effect, Treachery, which is the true damage based off of like visible bonuses, and Grand Strategy, that super powerful effect on Robin, right? Robin is giving out Grand Strategy. That's the Omni Unity effect. That's what makes defense, like that's what makes Unity so strong, right? It's because you can give out that Omni Unity effect to everybody. And now with Defense Res Ploy 3, you can turn that off. Now you are gonna have to win a resistance check, and it's kind of a difficult one at that. But on the correct units, you're gonna be able to do it pretty easily, I think. And not only that, not only are you neutering their team, right? You're removing one of their most powerful support effects, one of the most things that their whole team is really relying on. But you're also like just destroying them, right? Because they themselves with Robin are putting debuffs on their most valuable skills, right? Like if you have a nuke, it's gonna be on their attack and speed. So now that nuke has -6 attack and speed. But then they're also gonna get defense and res -7 from defense res ploy. They're also gonna get exposure, so they're taking 10 more true damage per hit. If they had bonus double or treachery, that's gone as well. So you just completely wiped away everything off these units. And this skill is going to be really, really powerful, especially against things like raid bosses, right? Raid bosses really do rely on things like Grand Strategy, like bonus doubler to like work essentially. So being able to remove that at the beginning of your turn and their turn is just ridiculous. Like I cannot believe defense and res ploy actually became a meta skill. This is ridiculously good, and the best part is, the very, very, very best part is on a rearmed hero. I cannot even try to explain how good that is. Having one of the most meta skills in the game on a unit that comes with skill duplication is just insane. And the thing is, defense and res play shouldn't be that difficult to get. So you're going to be able to duplicate Stillwater 4, Wings of Mercy 4, defense res play 3, all at the same time on a unit, and they're going to get like a full kit pretty much. Like it's going to be insane. And not only that, you're getting a very powerful dancer, right? She's very unique, she's a very cool dance, so she's going to offer a lot of value there. And then the other thing you could do, of course, is duplicate things like Guidance 4 and Soaring Guidance. So now you have a flying dancer who's not only offering you the dance function, you're also getting a whole bunch of other things. Like it's just insane value. This is like ridiculously good. So when it comes to roles, what does Plumeria want to do herself? Obviously, she is a support unit, right? She wants to support, she wants to offer just a ton of effects, charge, foe penalty doubler, you know, ploy, exposure, everything. Like she is just a super powerful support unit. Like this is a ridiculously good support unit. And as a dancer, she's going to be amazing, especially in those competitive like modes like Summoner Duels. But I could also see her being used on like Aether-Raid's defense because it does activate at the beginning of enemy and player phase. You can really have her there and just shut down a lot of the things the enemy is trying to do, which is really nice. When it comes to game modes, like I said, Aether-Raid's defense, Summoner Duels are going to be the best two places to have her. You can use her on Aether-Raid's offense as well, though typically on Aether-Raid's offense, you don't really run into like bonus doubler and treachery that much. Sometimes Grand Strategy during Earth Season, but other than that, not all that much. So I think she could be good there, but maybe not as strong as the other game modes. Though giving out charge can be very good, especially to units like Brave Golveg or like anyone who needs to do like some hit and run, right? So that's always nice as well. So let's move on to the final part of the video, should you pull? Okay, so when it comes to the pros, there's quite a few here. First, you get an Arcane Blue Tome, so if you're looking for that for one of your blue units, this is a great place to pull that. You get skill duplication of some really powerful skills, right? Wings of Mercy 4, Stillwater 4, the new defensive res ploy, right? Those are really nice skills to duplicate already. So that's already one really good reason to pull. Then you have a few other good units. I don't think these units other than Plumeria are like insane by any means, but they are very solid, and Infantry +4 is going to be very strong for Aether-Raid's defense. And also, if you do need some of those really powerful skills to duplicate, like Special Spiral 4 or like Physical No Follow, this is a great place to pick them up. Now, when it comes to cons, there are a lot of good banners running right now. We have Choose Your Legends, we have the Wind Tribe banner with Claude, we have a legendary Hinoka rerun soon as well, who's very meta at the moment. And then we even have the Halloween banner coming up pretty soon. So when it comes to should you pull on this banner, I think it really comes down to like your account and if you really want any of the things here. If you're like an Aether-Raid's defense fanatic, this is a great banner for you. You're gonna get a lot of value out of the skill options here and Plumeria herself. But if you don't really care about defense or like Summoner Duels, I don't think this is really a banner you need to pull on. You could probably just skip it and you're not gonna really be missing out on all that much. But now I'd love to hear from you. What do you think of this banner? Are you excited for these characters? Are you excited for Rearmed Plumeria? Are you going to be summoning for her? And if you do, where do you plan to use her? Make sure to drop a comment down below letting me know. As always, I'd like to thank my members for all their constant support. And if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. This has been Oblivion. I'll catch you all later.